Okay. It's 6:02. We'll start the August 26th meeting of the Kennedale Economic Development Corporation. Roll call, please. Or everybody, or just name the one person that's not here. Everybody's here except Mr. Eubank.
So sorry for the delay. I'm missing my list. Council member Marshall Terry, right. Kenneth Michaels,
Here.
our president Mark Yearley.
Here.
Can't see Jeff Naharas,
Here.
Dustin,
Here.
and Mr. Glover.
Present.
All right, thank you. All right. Nobody signed up for a public comment, so we're going to skip temporarily to
Excuse me, sir.
regular session.
I'm sorry, we do have a public speaker.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Brian Johnson is here to
I
speak.
thought he was just visiting. Come on up, Mr. Johnson.
That's better. Can everybody in the audience hear me? Thanks, Chelsea. I had a meeting with Marcel about, was that 2 weeks ago? Where we sat down, we were talking about economic development strategies just to get to know each other. And he said that he didn't know a lot about what the chamber is doing. And he suggested that I come here on a quarterly basis or something and give you any updates that we might have. So to give you an update where the chamber is, we've rewritten the bylaws. Some of you have heard this already. We've shrunk the board from 13 to 12. We have reduced the number of chamber luncheons to quarterly instead of monthly because we were finding that monthly just wasn't cutting it. It was mainly staff members and it wasn't well attended. And then we're also shifting the focus of the luncheons to be more business friendly. So for example, this month it's going to be grants. Yeah, small business finance and grants, so we'll have some guest speakers there. And we'll be looking in the future to find more businesses to come speak, not in general of just one person speaking, but probably roundtables, panel discussions, something that'll be a little bit more interactive with the chamber. I was elected president of the chamber in June. Brian Griffith is our vice president, Mike Walker is our secretary, and Chad G is our treasurer. We are looking to find new members because many of our members are on a one-year term, including myself. And so we'll be looking to find new members in the business community to come out and join us. We're also looking with the help of CP2 to bring in new businesses that have sort of dropped off the chamber radar and try to bring them back in. To do that, we really need to find a way to show them that the chamber has value and that there's a purpose for joining the chamber. And so we will be doing eventually here some governance training as soon as we find a facilitator to come in to help us redefine what board roles are, because I think that's important to what the role of a board member is, and then focus on what our goals should be for the next year. And so it'll be a work session. We thought we had somebody, but they had to back out, but we're going to be doing that shortly as well. So there's a lot of things going on in the chamber. It's moving a little slow at first, but we've been only at it for about 3 months. But as Joe Taylor, our retired board member, he wanted to do Chamber 2.0, and so we have. And we've done it a lot with the help of Daryl. He's been a great assistant to getting the chamber back rolling again. And with the help of Christy and Chelsea have been a great help. And so we utilize them, and as well you well know, we pay roughly 15% of their salary. And the idea is that they work 15% of their time for the chamber. If we need them anymore, we will pay that fair share of salary. The chamber is not asking for a free ride. We're going to make sure that we pay for anything that we're going to be using, especially with the city. I think that's a good, sound policy. As we're a nonprofit, we should not be getting extra benefits from the city that other nonprofits would not be getting. So saying all that, in a quick nutshell, do you have any questions about what the chamber is doing and where we're going? See how good I am? I mean, I've been teaching all day.
What is the cost of a membership? And is the information on the website or anything like that?
Yeah, the information on the website. We still have the $50 membership? Yep. We have a 50, we have a 250, we have premier sponsors. We're looking for more of those. Those are 2,000. Anybody? David, you look like the kind of guy that, no? Okay. I'll talk to you later.
So is that annually? Is that annually?
Annually, yes. And it comes with benefits to the luncheon and recognition in the program, yeah. So, we have a chamber luncheon coming up September 9th. So if you have the availability, please come on out. We'd like to hear from you. Any other questions? Lots going on with the chamber. We hope to expand it, and we're working hard. And again, thanks to Daryl and CP2 to really helping us get our feet wet and back on track. The chamber had wandered for a few years, so they all admit that, and now I think we're on a good path. All right, if there's no other questions, I think that's my 3 minutes. Is that right, Jonathan? Barbara, are you checking that for me? Okay. All right, well, thank y'all. And like I said, I'll come back and thank you for the idea of coming out and speaking. Joe can get a hold of me anytime you want to send me a text message. I'll answer any text message and respond. But our goal, in my mind, is that the chamber should be supporting the EDC and its goals and supporting the city and its goals. And I've been around city government long enough to know that your work on the EDC, and Mark, you know this, you guys have made some of the biggest changes in Kennedale. That town center would not be there without the EDC. This park over here would not be here without the EDC. The redevelopment up at the front where there's a McDonald's, not here unless because of the EDC. So you guys do a lot of the caring for the city, and just want to thank all of you for doing that. You've done a tremendous job, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from you again. All right, on regular session, reports and announcements. Item 1, our CP2 August consulting report.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. So you have a brief report in your packet, but I wanted to start with business engagement and events, which was where we spent a lot of our efforts in the last month. Just in this month, we directly engaged with more than 20 Kennedale businesses through face-to-face visits. This meant we strengthened relationships, identified needs, and highlighted the resources that the EDC has available to support local business growth. We had, as many of you know, our inaugural Business Connection Luncheon. We saw many of you there. Thank you for coming. It drew 45 attendees, including representatives from more than 15 local businesses, alongside city, chamber, and Rotary leadership. The event focused on networking and fostered meaningful networking and introduced lots of the opportunities that are available through both the EDC and the chamber. We had really great, strong, positive feedback, and we're already planning the next EDC event, probably early 2026. And this time we're going to look at focusing on equipping and resourcing Kennedale's smallest entrepreneurs and emerging businesses. A lot of the businesses at this one were our larger organizations, which was our goal to start with, to get them out. And this time we want to make sure that we get our smaller businesses out. And that's a little bit of makes it a niche event, right? With smaller shops and fewer employees, you have to work the timing a little bit better and that sort of thing to make sure they can come. That'll be part of our focus for that event. We also worked on the Hometown Christmas event, securing a new sponsor, and finalizing some entertainment contracts. We're excited to get to be a small part of that event, and it sounds like it's going to be really fun. We're also on the branding and communication side, finalizing the navigation, the imagery, and the layout for the new EDC website. We've been working on this for a couple of months because it has so much content. And a reminder that this is designed to serve both site selectors, new investment here in Kennedale, and our existing businesses. And it'll feature robust resources on grants, incentives, and small business support, as well as help navigating needs that local businesses have within the city as far as making sure they're permitting and things like that, that they know how to do that quickly. They know the pathways that the city has set up so that that's not intimidating. This platform's goal is that it will not only increase Kennedale's visibility and credibility with investors, but also equip our local businesses with the tools they need to grow. The EDC has already made those tools available, but we're going to communicate them in an easier way for our businesses to access them, positioning the EDC for stronger outreach and engagement that's available 24 hours a day. That's what I have for this month. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you. And since Mr. Hughes is here, item 2, discuss the update for development of Kennedale Town Center. Greg Hughes.
I'm happy to report that we're now 100% leased again. We are now, there we go. We're back to 100% lease. We're doing a taqueria, Don Pancho's Taqueria for the old Dickey's Barbecue. So finally back to 100% leased again. Still looking for that first tenant for our building 3. I think we're ready to move forward, pay the permit fees. I'm trying to get my partner, Mark Wong, to go ahead and start. It's a lot easier to lease a building that's under construction than one that's, proposed. I thought we were getting pretty close to a Salvadorian restaurant, sit-down restaurant, but he's just not quite there yet. So if we could just get one tenant, we'd go full steam ahead. We may still do it without a tenant, but it's a bigger risk. That's a $20,000 a month interest down the drain if we have a building sitting there empty. So it's the big bet. And also here to talk with the city manager about the YMCA deal and our participation there. So if you have any questions on that, happy to discuss that.
One question. We talked last year, I think, about reaching out to Tesla to put in some kind of charging station or anything like that. Did they ever get back to you on that?
I reached out and said we're very interested, come back to us, and no one ever returned my calls.
Okay. That's unfortunate, but I think that would be just a draw to kind of get people in here, but maybe eventually they'll come back.
Revenue producer for us. I mean, it's an amenity and we can make a little money, so we're definitely not opposed to it.
Craig, what about the rock spot next to the subway? What are we going to do with that?
We've gone back and forth with that. We have an obligation to build a building there before May of 2030. So we're reluctant to spend, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 knowing that we're just going to rip it up and build a building at some point. So we've been going back and forth, what to do with that. If there's something temporarily we could do, but some of the requirements in order to have that truck court is, it doesn't pencil out. If we have to spend 20, 30 grand to put some impermeable space there, it's going to take 3 or 4 years to get our money back, and by then we've got to have a building built. So we're struggling with that and open to ideas. We had Verizon looking at us to put a building there. So we have some activity, a little bit that's a tougher one. It's really designed for a fast food with a drive-through. But I would love to have like a Verizon, a single tenant retail building that needs the visibility as opposed to another fast food restaurant. Our time to build a building is getting shorter and shorter, so our horizon to get if we invest a bunch of money to do something temporary, it's getting tougher and tougher to make sense.
Just in general, from 5 years ago, how is construction costs? Are they starting to come down? Is lumber starting to come down?
So there was a marked increase from 2020 to about 2023. I mean, steel tripled. And it maybe has come down to only 2.5 times. I mean, it has subsided and it's fairly stable. In fact, things have gotten a little slower. When we priced out our building 3, 10 months ago, we went back and said, can you hold the price? And they said, yeah, not only can we hold it, but some subs are getting pretty aggressive. Maybe we can improve it 5%. So it's stabled and maybe has retreated a little bit. So we're not worried about construction costs so much anymore as we were. It's just the velocity of deals. This is going to be the most expensive building that we built because costs have increased over the last couple, 3 or 4 years. And if it sits empty, it's 20 grand a month right down the drain.
If you proceeded with that build to kind of spark interest, would that limit a tenant that would come in to what they can do with it, or is this like foundation board, or?
It would enhance what a tenant could do.
Where they could.
We would just build the shell.
Right.
And we would leave, we'd have a leave out, what they call a leave out. We'd leave some of the foundation open where the plumbing generally would go. You may have to saw cut up some of the plumbing depending on what it is. But yeah, having a building, that's what I've been trying to convince Mark, having a building makes it easier to lease. It makes it easier for a tenant to have vision of what it could look like. But I'm the optimist leasing agent. I think we're getting there. I don't know. Now that we're back 100% lease, it's a little bit easier decision to move forward. That Dickey's Barbecue, we had tons of people looking at it, but it's kind of in a little pinch point over there where the parking's not all that great. Don't say that too loud. But we got a little taqueria. Don Pancho's coming in, so should be good.
When are they scheduled to move in? Because that sounds pretty exciting.
And is it the Ponchos?
No, it's Don
That's what I thought.
Pancho, Pancho, Pancho.
I was just saying, smart on them.
It looks, I mean, they showed me some stuff that they're planning to do. It looks really good. It's a combination of traditional Mexican, and because we're in Texas, have to do a little bit Tex-Mex. I was a proponent, just go straight, authentic Mexican, and been my preference, but we're gonna do a little Tex-Mex also.
Any more questions for Mr. Hughes? Well, thank you for coming in, sir.
Absolutely. Did we want to talk about the YMCA at all at this meeting?
Yeah, if we'll give an update. Based on the YMCA and the Dollar General remodel, which we'll talk more in depth with our budget workshop. But Mr. Craig Hughes has also offered, as we end our 380 agreement in 2030, at that point, obviously, Mr. Hughes takes over the town center. At that point, with YMCA coming in and are anticipated to lease the building, Mr. Hughes has agreed to offer $180,000 at the end of the agreement, 380 agreement, and pay out for the rest of the 6 years, which will equal up to $180,000 to the funding of the remodel.
Essentially, the KUDC would make a loan to cover it, and then we'd pick up our share after we take over the building and continue to pay that subsidy or that loan or subsidy to finish out the YMCA space. It'd be amortized over the 10-year lease, and we'd pick up our share of that amortization when we take over. It's valued at created that we'll benefit from and we're willing to pay for.
Is that a total of 180,000 or
180,000
180,000 per year or
No,
just
180 over the tenure of the 10-year lease.
over 10 years?
Plus interest. I think it'd be a great amenity. It's a very expensive deal. I mean, we all realize that, but hopefully the foot traffic helps rise all boats. Should help maybe at least our building 3 and the last building, the last subway.
Thanks, Craig.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll finish up A with financial reports and for the Economic Development Corporation. And then go straight to the budget.
Well, I'll be pretty quick on this, because it seems like I did this last week. Sales tax revenues were at 65% of our total budget. Our last year, we were at 79.3, so a little behind there. Our rental fees are at 87%. Last year, we were at 88.5. We're 83% through the fiscal year, so all that's tracking as expected. Our operations expenditures, we're under 60% of budget. This time last year, we were almost at 89%. And our town center shopping expenditures are at 25%. This time last year, we were at 44%. Our fund balance year to date right now is at 714 days. This time last year was at 478. So we've done a really good job this year of expanding our fund balance that we can use in the future. Are there any questions I can address specifically?
John, are you seeing any trends on local economy that's maybe contributing to the decrease in the revenue?
The sales tax, part of 25 versus 24 is I did consider that 380 agreement with Quick Roofing, the purchasing for the EDC. I did not for the general fund, but I did for here. That's really the only driver I see is we're expecting a little bit more, or I was, from that up front, but that didn't start at the beginning of the fiscal year. It was a few months deep, but I do think we're going to catch up to budget. Just when we're looking at trends compared to last year, we're just not having that big revenue kick. Had I not put that in to the budget, we'd be way ahead of last year's, for example. So that's really the main driver. But I don't see that as an alarm for the local economies. If you remember on the general fund, we're still ahead of schedule on the general fund where I didn't factor that in.
Thank you.
Any more questions for John? All right, thank you. Go ahead and finish up regular session with consent agenda. July 22nd EDC meetings. Did anybody have a change that they want to submit, or they're ready, or anybody want to present a motion of approval?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. All right. Up to the top, item 3, work session. Fiscal year 2026 budget workshop session.
I wanted to give an update in reference to our budget. There was a couple of changes that we have made prior to submitting last month's budget. We also made some adjustments with our city council, and that's what you see today is what was being presented tomorrow for the city council for approval. The only difference that's been made is the difference for the building maintenance, which you'll see $758,000, $758,405. That increases from 600 to the 758. That isn't based off of the Dollar General remodel, with the projected being 758. With that, the calculation is basically roughly a $400,000 remodel for the Dollar General, with the idea of Hughes coming in with 180,000 match, which the rest is coming into as a grant funding, which would equal the 758,000. That would be the calculation of it. Are there any questions for that? Just for heads up on for that, from obviously with Mr. Hughes confirming a verbal agreement for the 180,000 plus interest. Same thing for YMCA. We have already started the process of trying to get the construction bidding process put in place to start. YMCA also has had a verbal commitment to move into that location for the remodel. So both plans are going forward as desired. We anticipate, once we're able to get the construction right now verbally, it looks like we could have a grand opening sometime in February. That's it for the budget update.
Any questions on the budget update?
Mr. City Manager, one quick question. I'm looking through what's in the packet. I just wanted to ask, does this include any funds for the Town Center Park and some of the discussions we've had around Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Veterans Memorial there?
We do. So if you look under for, it's 5870, 15-5870, it says fountain. So we're still budgeted at 80,000 for the memorial itself.
I'm sorry, I was saying that. Yes, sir. I got it. Sorry, I just didn't scroll down far enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still have the 80, and that would cover, I think, Phase 1 and Phase 2 of that, and then we still have to come back for Phase 3, or is that just Phase 1?
Pretty much Phase 1.
That's Phase 1, okay.
Yeah. And then we're still anticipating, Grossman is the one that gave the bid process for that. They're the ones that's doing the fire department and police department remodel. And we're anticipating most likely it'll be in January, maybe February, for them to come out and actually remove the old memorial here in the town center, the fountain itself.
Okay. Any advantage of doing it ahead of the Christmas tree going up? I mean, logistically, it's like it would be easier to not have the fountain there, but I don't know if we have the time for it.
Honestly, I was afraid if I take it out, I'm going to run into a problem than not have a Christmas tree. But it's something that I can definitely look at, and we can see if we can get that done. I was just concerned that
have a geyser underneath there, and suddenly now you can't put the tree up because
yeah,
water issue. Yeah. Okay. That's it for me. Thank you.
Anything else on budget? All right. All right. Work session item B is going to be held under executive session. So if nothing further in open session.
Mr. President, I'm making a motion that we move into executive session.
I will second.
All right, under pursuant to 551.072, deliberation regardless the purchase of the exchange lease of real property. We'll go into executive session at 6:30. Close enough? All right, it's 7:02. We reconvene from executive session. Do we have any
I will make a motion.
motion? Yep.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to consider or to enter into negotiations to purchase the land at 811 West Kennedale Parkway in Kennedale, Texas.
And I will second.
All in favor? All opposed? And one abstain. Motion passes. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor of going home? Hard decision. Well, have fun with your